Happy Wednesday, everybody. And like we've talked about recently, we went viral on Instagram and it's gone to our heads. It's all we want now. We're completely different humans.
Yeah, like you look inside of our heads, all it says is go viral on Instagram again.
Algorithm.
Yeah. What else can we do?
No, we're mainly joking, but I think it is going to be a fun recurring bit that every episode now we start off by saying something controversial that you guys know is just a joke, but... Oh, you have something. It's not a joke this time?
I kind of believe in this one.
Okay.
Well, I believe in the WNBA thing too, by the way.
And
I've been watching a lot of NCAA tournament stuff, and I thought to myself, I'd watch some women's if people were getting yammed on.
If they were, dude, the comments recently have turned more positive.
Really?
I feel like initially it was a lot of negative.
The algorithm found its bias.
And now, like, there's a lot of positive comments. They're like helpful. They're like, what if just certain sections of the crowd, there were pluckable tickets you could buy? Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I thought there would be non-pluckable and pluckable, but yeah, maybe it's just, one section's like the sweets.
Anyway, a lot of good comments on there recently, but okay.
But Brad, I believe in this one as well.
What is it's not a joke. What do you wholeheartedly believe in this episode?
Yeah, so I was just in Texas hanging out with my in-laws, and we were talking, got on the subject, as every white family does, about cold plunges. Everyone's talking about it these days.
Yep.
Cold immersion. And I just thought to myself, well, there's undeniable health benefits. The data is out there that this is 100% definitely working for people that are just freezing themselves for 8 minutes a day.
And data over a long period of time. Data we can trust.
Yes. Yeah. Tons of data, from every angle. CNN, Fox News, both of them are agreeing cold plunges are the way to go.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. Both sides of the aisle disagree on this part. It is, what's it called?
The freezing cold dichotomy.
Yes, the freezing cold dichotomy, FDC.
That's what your textbooks would call it.
So anyway, there's tons of data for this. So I went down a deep, dark hole on this, baby. And my basic belief now is why aren't we also dunking babies? Why aren't we also sending babies into a cold plunge? Why aren't they also getting down there in the icy water and seeing how they can seeing what it does to their body? And turns out they actually are. Turns out people are doing this.
Oh, really?
And there's real data. I think it's either CDC or the healthcare.gov. I don't know. One of those big websites. It says 99 out of 100 babies have never experienced near hypothermic temperatures for more than 6 minutes. Okay. Which means that 1% of babies are getting dunked every single day.
I see. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
And so, there's 99% that are just living their lives warm, but this 1% of babies, and they're doing things. Babies are doing things.
They are cold plunging, and they're receiving the health benefits, the immunity boost. Tell me you don't want more immunity for your baby.
Yeah, there's no Tdap, no hepatitis B shot that can do anything that cold plunges can't do.
Nothing that 40-degree water can't do.
No way. And so I looked into this. They're calling it baby dunking, and just baby yamming. And actually, you think that it's like a new thing? Catholics have been doing it for years,
decades, centuries.
Immersion. Yeah, they're just throwing it in there. I mean, and would the Catholics ever steer us wrong?
I don't think so. Find something that the Catholics have done century after century that has gotten them in trouble.
Nope. St. Peter was dunking his cousin back in the day.
That's right.
Here you go, cold. And he wasn't warming up that water.
No.
Right. And so I think if anything, it's giving them immunity. It's giving them holy immunity, holy community, holy immunity. Immunity by immersion.
Holy immunion.
Holy immunion. Holy immunion. Nailed it.
That was like one of the only things that Brad had prepared to say beforehand. He's like, okay, I'm going to say holy immunion. And I was just waiting for him to say it the whole time. And I was like, is he purposely not saying
holy immunity?
Yeah, like, all right, I guess I'll just say it. Roll the intro music.
I think this tight beat means that it's going down with some random thoughts and white meat too. Midwest best friends eating fast food on repeat. So come along, let's have some fun and go ahead, get on your feet, cause it's the Ghostrunners podcast. Every Monday morning we're taking back Ghostrunners podcast. Oh my goodness.
I was like, I think he's got it.
You got to throw it down.
Yeah.
This is the time you hit the thing.
Any second now.
Hit the punchline. Do it.
Oh, anyway. Okay.
Anyway.
We're back with another Wednesday episode, and it feels good. We got 3 cameras again.
Pow, pow, pow.
Time it. Hit him with the...
Ready? Pow, 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 pow,
Yeah, it's a party.
Yeah, baby.
So it feels good to have Timon back. 3 cameras are back.
Yep.
Facial hair is back.
Yep.
And...
looks good on you. Guys, comment 1 to 10. Just go ahead and put a 10 down for Jake's. 10 being amazing, 1 being really amazing. So no matter what, like it's a good, like people are saying nice things about your facial hair.
That is really nice of them. I feel like I've never let it really grow this far. So I have been impressed because I used to think like, okay, if I let it grow too far, like I'm going to be on a registered sex offender list.
No.
Like they're not even going to ask. They're just going to put me on one, but not like that bad. There are some problematic areas on the sides, but nothing little Bosley can't fix. I think that works on your face.
I've always been curious, if you throw Rogaine on your face, what would happen?
Yeah, what kind of hair does it grow? Is a follicle a follicle?
Yeah, or you do hair transplants. Can you do those for your face?
Yeah, where would you... Oh, I know where you take it from.
I know where you take it from.
I know where you
take it from.
I
don't know about you, but I know where you take it from. Where you take it. I've seen it. I don't know. I know where you go.
That reminds me, I know we've told the story before on the podcast, but just speaking of
Isaac.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Because it's talking about funny hair. We had this friend a few years ago. I think it was 2020 when this was all happening. And anyway, young, cute girl. She's probably pretty close to Isaac's age. We're all hanging out. And she was like, I think I said something about how I wanted to do laser hair removal on my face. Like, I'm never going to grow facial hair. I hate shaving.
Scale of 1 to 10, though. Should he grow a facial hair?
1 to 10? How much laser?
Yeah.
And anyway, this girl was just like, I think you should look into it. Like, I get laser hair removal. And Isaac, oh, cool. Where? And I was just like, oh, gosh.
On your face probably, right?
I was like, armpit.
Like I knew my elementary school principal was a woman, and she had a little mustache, little stash. She had darker hair, and she had a little hair up there. And so I bet that's what Isaac was assuming.
Probably.
So
it's like you're like that old principal of mine.
Yeah, Dr. Cook.
Yeah.
Dr. Cook.
Anyway, yeah, just Rachel was out of town this weekend. Brad was out of town. I didn't have anything. I stopped taking care of myself. I just let the facial hair go.
You had no accountability.
It was just me.
So how long is that? Is that 4 days?
This is probably 5 days.
That's pretty good for 5 days.
Okay.
I really do think like we should do a fundraiser, some kind of charity thing where like you grow out your mustache until the wedding, and then until we hit this one goal, Rachel, like you're not allowed to shave it, and then all of a sudden you can have mustache pics in your wedding.
That's kind of fun. I did have an idea. Speaking of like a little campaign like that, I was putting on our Ghostrunners story last night, like, hey, fun new episode drops at midnight.
Oh, yeah.
I had something like an idea. Something we could do like, hey, this thing we made that everyone's excited about comes out on Friday. For every like 100 people that share it, it like bumps up 12 hours or something like that. Yeah. Like we should find some
way that like it's a community.
Like we're all like
outreach. Here. Yeah. Cool.
It's like a scary movie where like the countdown is like counting down or whatever, but you can like bump it up. It's like a happy movie.
I don't get that part. What do you say? Scary movie countdown.
Really, just that scary movies have countdowns.
What do you mean? They do?
Yeah, like Saw or something. You know?
I've never seen Saw, but it's like the idea of like something's about to happen when the timer goes off.
You have to do this before it strikes midnight.
You should have said Speed. Like I would have understood Speed. Like Keanu Reeves, the bomb is about to go off.
Sure.
I understand that.
Bomb movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
James bombed.
Should we do our wins of the week and then get on to the content today? We got a lot of good stuff from Ghosties on a Couch.
Yes.
Therapy is about to be in session.
That's right. Yes. Win of the week. I'll go first if you want me to.
Great.
My win of the week is that for once in my parenthood life, all my wins of the week are always going to be parent things, I think, for the rest of this time. But for once in my parenthood life, I can do something better than Catherine, which just never happens. And for whatever reason, Bo is in a stage right now where he will not nap if Catherine puts him down, if Catherine, does all the napping things. But if I go in there and lay the hammer down and basically just kind of threaten him, like, you're going to get in trouble if you don't nap, he will nap 100% of the time.
Really?
And I am 100% so far, and it's amazing. Like the other day, we were filming something here, and Catherine's like, "Can you come over and help Bo nap?" And I did. He's out like a light. It's amazing.
What do? You do strike him?
No, I don't. I just go in and talk to him, and I say, so I think you witnessed this the other day. I have 3 questions I ask him. I go, and I do come in hot, like our house is, has a basement and stuff, so it's pretty hollow when you walk around. Like you let him know. You can hear the So on the monitor, you can see him sitting up and playing. By the time that I am in there, he is laying down pretending like he's trying to fall asleep.
That's fine.
But I know better, so I make sure I'm knocking the house, and then I get in there and I say, "You need to go to sleep."
Okay.
He goes, "I don't want to go to sleep." And then I ask him 3 questions. I go, "Who's in charge?" And he goes, "You." So who's not in charge? He goes, "Me." Say, "When I ask you to do something, what do you do?" And he goes, and he kind of starts smiling at this point. He goes, "I do it." I said, "Okay, go to sleep." And then every single time. And that method has also worked 100% of the time. Like that's worked for, like, he won't eat his carrots. And then all of a sudden I do those 3 questions.
You start stomping around the house.
No, yeah. Well, I'm just sitting there and Catherine's like, "He won't eat." And I was like, "Okay, who's in charge? Who's not in charge? When I ask you to do something, what do you do? Do it." "Okay, eat your carrots." And then he just goes to town on his carrots. It's amazing. And he does not like carrots. It's like anything. It works 100% of the time. And then I always kind of redeem it with, I also do this other thing where I say, "Do I love you?" And or "Do you know I love you?" And he says, "Yes." I say, wait, what do I say? I can't remember it.
I say, "Immunion."
I said, "Do you know I love you?" "Yes." "Do you know I'll always love you?" "Yes." "Do you know there's nothing you can do to make me not love you?" He says, "Yes." And then I say the same thing. I said, "Do you know God loves you? Do you know God will always love you? Do you know there's nothing you can do that makes God not love you?" So
then you say, God's in charge? And he's like, whoa,
who's in charge?
Whoa.
Yeah, God's in charge.
You told me that you were in charge.
Yes.
God doesn't want me to sleep.
God says that I'm in charge of you, Bo. So anyway.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's my win of the week, is that I, for whatever reason, have more authority towards, like Catherine's so much scarier than me with the kids. Like she
just can't stomp as loud. I think when it comes down to it.
I think it's, and it's something like I am so much less likely to be as authoritarian towards Hattie. I think I'm just more like gentle towards her. Whereas Bo, I'm like, you need to straighten up, boy.
That's my boy.
You need to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And it's like, it makes such a difference with the rest of his day if he sleeps. Like if he doesn't, then he's just a punk. You know how it is, Timon, with your little kids.
I thought you were just going to say that just Timon in general.
Timon doesn't, when Timon doesn't get his sleep in.
Timon's a kid.
No, Timon's got lots of little siblings, and when they don't sleep, it makes a difference. So
When I don't take my nap.
Yeah. So anyway, win of the week.
That's fun.
Yep.
My win of the week is going to be that last week we had a fun surprise visitor. We were at McLean's getting some work done, and got a call from Grant Huderberg, where we were in the middle of something. I had to run, and I was like, I got to call him back later. Brad was like, "I'll text him for you." And then Brad texted me later in all caps, like, "Dude, Grant's in town. Call him back. Call him back." And so anyway, our good friend Grant, we talk about him all the time on the podcast, but he was in town randomly. His brother is a Division II basketball coach, Southern Nazarene University, and they were playing in a tournament. Was it the conference tournament?
No, it was like the national tournament.
Yeah, it was like the NCAA Division II tournament. And anyway, they were playing up in St. Joseph, Missouri. It's like 45 minutes north of here. And they were playing the team that has won the national championship 3 years in a row.
Yeah, they're like a powerhouse.
Yeah, they're studs.
They're as blue blood as D2 gets.
Yeah. And Grant, his wife, his whole family, they all come up here because they're such supportive people.
Awesome. Yeah.
I mean, Grant's the one who I'm pretty sure is coming to my bachelor party, but only for like 8 hours.
Grant's also, get your shirt wet. Grant's also the one who put the watch on his, on this girl that eventually became his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's great. Yeah.
And
you went to Australia with him.
Yes. That's where Queenstown, on your feet.
Yes, he was on your feet. Yeah.
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 He's the man. And sorry, I lost my train. Oh, yeah. But so his whole family comes up here to watch just like one game. They're playing the best team in the country. They're probably going to lose. And anyway, they end up beating them. Miraculous upset. Well, no one packed any clothes. And so none of them, they're all like going to Ross to like get clothes, everything.
Oh, I hadn't heard that detail.
They are basically, so they're just like, well, now we have like 2 to 3 extra days in St. Joseph, Missouri, because we play again. So Jacob, Brad, you want to hang out? So they came down to Kansas City and we hung out with them, and Rachel made us all dinner. It was awesome. We played games with them. It was so fun.
Wasn't the game for the number 1 seed like at their home court or something? Like, are they in St. Joe, or they're somewhere around there, Northwest Missouri State?
Oh yeah, Maryville, I think.
Okay, which is like pretty close, I think. So I think everyone that was there was like those people, like Northwest Missouri State's fans. And so Grant's like, it's kind of awkward. Like all these people were like, well, I was planning on going to all these games.
Yeah, they were just handing him tickets for the next game. Like, here, I'm not going to use them.
Yeah, it was really fun to see him though. And We played Wits and Wagers, and I was so bad.
It was so fun, though.
I did not get a single point the whole time, but it was fun.
It was a good time. So good wins, good week.
Yeah, man. So let's move on to Ghosties on a Couch. Yeah,
let's do it.
So I don't know if we ever even announced this on the podcast. Did we? Did we announce it on Mondays that we are going to do this?
I think so. A couple Mondays ago.
But we had posted on our Patreon. So if you're not a Patreon member, go on there. We also posted on Instagram to submit some questions to us. And initially in my head, this idea was like Ghosties on a Couch. You know, it's like you're having therapy with Jake and Brad, and obviously Jake and Brad are not anywhere near therapists. So ask us some goofy questions and we'll answer them. And some people ask some goofy questions, but a lot of people ask very insightful questions.
I mean, 85% are pretty serious.
And let's preface it by saying we will answer these as best as we can, but we are nowhere near the masters at any of these things. So very humbly, we'll answer a lot of these questions. But it was one of those things where it's like, okay, there's enough people that are asking serious questions that they really truly might want to know some serious answers. So I think the idea is let's read some, goofy questions. Let's read some serious ones. Let's be goofy with it, but also we can get serious on them. And so we got quite a few responses, quite a few questions. So thank you for everybody for submitting these. So let's go ahead and get into it now. Shayna, Cheyne. How you think Shayna? Shanae?
Oh
Shane?
yeah, I always see
Shane.
her comment on YouTube, and I do not know how to pronounce it.
I bet it's Shane.
What about?
Cheney. Yeah, this is Dick Cheney. She asked how to get more protein in the morning. Let's get started with just a lob up there.
Do eggs have protein?
Eggs have protein.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I read something on Twitter one time that was like, if you want more protein in the morning, eat things that have lots of protein in them.
Search
right?
high protein breakfast.
And then and it said thread : and then there were 10 different things. So we got almonds, eggs, meatloaf.
Pretty quickly, I just found out turkey bacon, a lot of protein.
A lot of teen in the turk.
There you go.
Yep. Turkey bacon. GoodRanchers.com has some great protein for you.
Even chike
has some protein. Any kind of supplemental powder like chike. I'm not positive that Main Street Roasters has protein in it, but if it doesn't, I would check that out.
I bet you could eat some of the cardboard that their coffee comes in.
Right.
And that's got to do something.
Rumor has it Camp Choye has a lot of good protein in it.
If you work there.
Yeah.
Just every answer is about our sponsors.
I think that if you do want eggs, you should get Humble Salt to put on the eggs. So yeah, any of those things would be good for protein. I like eggs a lot. That's my answer for protein. So thank you, Cheney. Okay. This is another just really, this one's more a little bit on the serious side. Mrs. Atnip said, I teach ballet to 5 and 6 year olds. How would you recommend I keep them on task when half of them are rolling around on the floor or bum shuffling? Better yet, just walk me through a whole class. You have 55 minutes to fill. Any method's acceptable,
I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
This is for Mrs. Catnip. Basically, you come in, you ask them 2 questions.
Yeah.
Hey, who's in charge?
Who's in charge?
Who's not in charge? That's what I thought.
Do the Vaganova method. That she said any methods of acceptable. Vaganova, Royal Academy of Dance, French technique, the Sechiti method.
Oh, is this for how to teach class?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
you're a Vaganova.
I skew vag.
Yeah, you're a vagabond.
So the Vaganova method is one where it's very individualism. It's very much, hey, go out in a corner, go into the hallway, go outside if you need to.
Yeah.
And find your own dance move.
It's the Montessori of ballet.
A little bit. Yeah. It's very much self-expression, self-discovery.
Yes.
That's Vaganova.
Go out in nature, right? That's the nature
Do some grounding.
Yes.
Just do a couple snow angels on the ground and feel it.
Planking, I'm pretty sure, was Vaganova ballet, I think.
Yes.
Planking and parkour, they kind of had their day with Vaganova.
Now, Cecchetti, that is one more Brad's expertise. That it was risky to do with children.
And see, that was I was going to say. I really liked Cecchetti, and then I had kids, and I said, I don't know as a responsible adult if I can endorse Cecchetti anymore.
I might have to go 10 years no Cecchetti.
I would say 7, more than that, 17 years.
Tell them what Cicchetti is.
It's basically ballet, but you do it on the ground of a pizza parlor. That's why they call it Cicchetti. It's Italian. And so back in the day,
the upfront cost alone,
which is ridiculous. Even if you go for like, a CC's that's going out of business, it's not cheap. it's minimum $5-6 grand. Right. And so you're in.
And at that point, it makes more sense to own.
I would just own it. I would actually try to revitalize the CC's over going ballet class.
Just start a pizza company.
Just go for pizza. It's not that hard. You get great margins. Just learn how to go for the all-you-can-eat buffet. Well, or use the ballet class as a filter into a funnel into the pizza place.
That's right.
That's what we've always said.
Kind of a front.
If we ever owned a ballet place, we'd also literally cooking the books. So that's Cicchetti for you. It's great if your people are more salami. Let's say they like a lot of salami. If you look at them and you think, you've had a salami in your day. You're a 5-year-old that knows what salami is.
I look at the parents and see, that dad snores.
Yeah, that dad snores.
That dad's got sleep apnea.
That dad probably roots for the Steelers. Yeah. Like that guy looks like he's a blue collar guy.
That dad thinks that like the players in the 80s NBA could beat the players now.
Yes.
He's a real old school guy.
That guy was a fan of the bad boy Pistons more than he is Ja Morant.
That guy would, in a like Facebook comment section, if it was like, all right, any guard start a team with, he'd say Larry Bird.
Yes.
He'd say, really?
Larry Bird's the best shooter of all time. It's like, well, the stats don't really seem like he is. It's like, well, but I saw him on TV.
If that dad drops off his daughter for ballet, Cicchetti technique.
Yes, that's what I would say.
Anyway, hope that helped, Nat Nip.
That's fun. So you can see that we're doing serious ones as well. So, okay. This one, Samantha said, so I'm dating. What are some good questions to ask to weed out any red flags? So let's go ahead, right off the bat. Are you a serial killer?
Yeah. Neo-Nazi?
Yeah.
Question mark?
You show them a picture of Obama and you say, what's the first thing you see?
Obama?
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's a racist or not. See, not neo-Nazi. Well, maybe.
I was like, I thought maybe you meant to say Osama. Like, we're saying clearly like really bad things. Serial killer, neo-Nazi.
Obama. I'll stick with him. I'm just kidding.
I was like, I think you meant to say Osama.
Osama. What else?
Yeah, I don't know. Good question.
I think things that are like red flags right off the bat. Let's see, like just like normal. Like what flavor of pizza do you like? They're like anything but pepperoni. It's like, you freak. You're done. You're out of here.
You absolute freak.
I mean, if like Gunner's whole thing of like no one really likes pepperoni. Gunner's a weirdo for thinking that. Like it doesn't have to be your favorite, but if you say I'll eat anything but, you're telling me you're like Hawaiian pizza but not pepperoni. Like you have loose enough standards for Hawaiian to be okay, but pepperoni is just like no, thank you.
Ew, pepperoni.
Like Canadian bacon is just pepperoni with bacon, Canadian style.
They just went up north.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. If for some reason they dislike pepperoni, that's probably a red flag. I would try to get an idea of like what technology they're using for certain things. Like if they're using like
Bing. Are they Bing?
Yeah, like Tidal to listen to music. I think that's a red flag.
Even Apple Music, dude. Apple Music's like a magenta flag, I think.
Like bring up music, like, oh, you should send me a link to that song.
Yes.
Don't tell it to me.
Yeah.
Send me a link. I want to see how the link comes in.
And if it comes in green, that's also a little bit of a magenta flag.
Two red flags in one. Yeah. More seriously,
Timon, you're an Apple Podcast guy, aren't you?
Or Apple Music?
No. I'm a Spotify guy.
Spotify?
Okay, Apple Music guys. Yeah. Good for you.
Okay.
I just get worried for the next generation, that they're going to be Apple Music people.
Well, Rihanna halftime show. The Apple Music halftime show.
Oh, okay. See, I was watching Hattie and Palmer the whole time.
Missed out.
Yeah.
It would be tough. More seriously, it'd be tough to ask any direct questions. I don't know. I would say get a feel for like if they have community, if they have friends.
Sure.
I don't want to just ask, you got friends? But I think you can like figure that out throughout the course of a date.
Just a quick, what do you do for fun?
Yeah. You ask other questions to figure out if they have friends.
What do I do for fun? I whittle, I knit.
I grow out my beard on the weekends because I don't have any friends.
All those things would probably be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just some kind of, community. And or like, are you going to be super clingy to me once we start dating because there's no one else going on?
Yeah, don't be afraid. Ask a lot of questions about the previous relationship.
Oh, yeah?
I think.
Okay.
how did it end? And if it's like definitely they're telling one side of the story, like, oh my gosh, this guy was insane. Like he was just like, it's just like, all right, this seems like
could be potential. We'll call that a chartreuse flag. Different colors of red. We'll call that you got another red for me? Crimson flag.
That's good.
That just seems red.
Maroon.
Sure.
Maroon flag.
Okay. Let's see. John Hausler wants to know how to know you're in the right career, profession, and job.
Ooh. First thing that comes to mind is when I was in college and I had to sit in these boring classes, all I could think about was what I wanted to do as soon as this class was over. And I feel like that's not necessarily a job, but I've had other like jobs kind of similar to that. I remember college was just the main spot where I was like, wow, I am daydreaming so much about the things I want to be doing. I think you're in a good career if you don't find yourself daydreaming about something else you want to be doing.
Okay, that's a good word.
That's my answer. I just feel like I'm at that point now. The last few years, I feel like, hey, we're making videos. That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
We're making podcasts. That's all I'm thinking about. It's not like, gosh, I can't wait till this is over. And then I don't even know what my other aspirations would be. Like I'm doing what I want to be doing.
It is true. Like I think, at least for me, so much of my hobbies coincide with my job. Like kind of like what you're saying. Like it's not like, hey, I can't wait to get done with this job so I can do something fun with my life.
Yeah.
And that's of course a really convenient answer, and not everyone's going to have that. But I also think there are opportunities for you to go out on your own and strike out on your own that like people don't take because they just assume it's not possible to make money unless you're doing XYZ in a corporate setting. It's like, no, you can have freedom here and do something you love and figure out ways to make money. It's scary sometimes because I think some people do that way too quickly and then they're like, oh crap, I am not making any money yet. It's like, well, yeah, maybe you should have kept your job while daydreaming about the other stuff. But
yeah,
I don't think it's a ridiculous thing to think you can really enjoy your job. I think so many people like just assume like, well, it's just a job and that's just what I have to do. And I think you got to find a balance there. And like I said, Jake and I are not geniuses at this. We're 32 years old, still trying to live our lives. But I think so often like people would ask me especially when I was woodworking more, like, what are your hobbies? And I'm like, I mean, my favorite thing to do is woodworking, but I get paid to do it, like if you could just do anything for fun, what would you do? And be like, woodworking. I just really like going out there and being by myself and making things. But it doesn't have to be a hobby because I'm getting paid for it. So I don't really have that many hobbies. Like, I guess pickleball was my hobby back in the day, but anyway, in my family. So, I don't know if you're ever really going to know, John, but, I think those are some answers for you. This one was fun. Just introspective. It's more for me than you. Oh, definitely for me, I guess. Emmy Jane wants to know if I easily accept motivation from Catherine. When I suggest something to my husband, he tends to get more offended than motivated. Not sure if it's a common male thing. That is 100% a common male thing. 1,000,000%. I think, Emmy Jane, it's almost always something that comes from insecurity from a guy, I think, more than anything. It's like, it's not your fault.
Wait, guys could be insecure,
Wait a
Brad?
second. Like, guys aren't always confident in what they're doing.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am, such a sensitive guy, and not sensitive in the fact of like, well, I
not
can't
like
be
to the cold.
not like to the cold or like to spicy food or like food in general, right? Like you don't get upset stomachs very easily. You eat a lot of it. No, but like, I'm not like going to cry all the time sensitive. I'm just more sensitive of like, if she says something and it like she's upset with me, it like bothers me, or she like, and so if she says something that's very lovingly like, hey, you should do this or think about this, or have you ever maybe considered, what, it's stuff that I've said to myself before. Like I'm gonna go to bed at 10 o'clock every night and it's 10:30 and I'm on my phone. She's like, hey, I noticed you're on your, like, why don't you get off your phone and go to bed? And I'm like, it's just so much. It's one of those things where I think in my head, I know that she's right. Of course she's right. And I think, Amy Jane, you're probably 100% like with great heart saying all these things. But I think as a spouse, I think Catherine does it too. Like where if I say something to her, she will get kind of offended. But then at the end of the day, in the back of her head, she's like, I know she's right or he's right.
Yeah.
So, but yes, 100%. I have a hard time being motivated by Catherine in some ways, but then other times it's just, we have healthier relationships and it's good. So, it's just being human, I think, just feeling that. So, that's a fun question.
Also, I'd just like to say, I like the name Emmy Jane.
Okay. You like double names?
Yeah.
I like them too.
Yeah, I think it's fun. think it's real fun.
We thought for a while of naming one of our babies Emma Kate. You like that one?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe next one.
Hey, oh,
Who knows?
Jacob Kate?
Jakey Kate? What would you think if we named our daughter Jacob?
That would be kind of a bummer.
Like, dude, we named our kid after you. No way. You had a beautiful baby boy. No, it's a girl. Oh, so what'd you call her? Like Jakina or something?
Jacqueline?
No, just Jacob. just Jacob Garland Ellis.
We named her after you.
Straight up. No. Just Timon. Just Timon Ellis. It's a beautiful little girl, just like you.
Thank you guys also for all the nice things you say about Timon week after week. Verdict is still out on how to spell Timon. So send in all your guesses. We are looking forward to doing a spelling reveal.
Yes.
When the moment feels right, we'll do a spelling reveal.
There may or may not be a silent P at the beginning. Call back for you guys. Now.
What word was that?
Facetious.
Facetious. That's right. All right.
Yeah. Timon, we don't have to put you through this right now because I know we're coming out with this episode in 2 days, but it'd be so funny to put that clip in there. Facetious. And just watching Harrison. So we did this spelling bee back in the day on Zoom or whatever it was, live streaming somewhere.
Yeah.
Facetious. And of course, facetious does not have a silent P at the beginning, but you should have seen Harrison's face.
Pterodactyl was a word earlier. And so Brad was
Oh, was it?
Me, yeah. Brad gave me pterodactyl, and he was kind of goofing around. He's like, pterodactyl. And so I was like, okay, I think I spelled it right somehow. I got lucky. And then a few words later, the word was facetious, and Harris and I were tied. And yeah, anyway, he was like, facetious.
And Harrison was like, I got you, bro.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome. Yes.
All right. Facetious. P, and we just lost it. Oh my gosh.
Facetious.
Ready?
This doesn't look right.
Okay.
Facetious. P-F-A-C-E-S-C-I-O-U-S. That doesn't look right.
That is incorrect. That is very incorrect.
I'm so sorry.
This doesn't look right.
He led you on so hard.
I was joking. I'm so sorry. I was just messing with you.
Oh!
I thought you knew that.
Is that a P in it? I was like, wait, is there a P? Dang it, Brad!
I thought you clearly knew that it did not start with a P.
Facetious.
Oh man, that's too good.
I'll try to find that old video and maybe we can put it in.
Yeah.
Okay, Carissa Bollinger wants to know how to find more clients for her cleaning business. She's just getting started.
Right away. Use ChatGPT.
Okay.
For everything.
Okay.
It is just amazing what it can do. Have you seen that guy on Twitter? He's blowing up. He had like 0 followers at the beginning of the weekend. Now he's at like 80,000.
Really?
He gave
Cold plunges for kids?
Baby Dunker 14. It's his username.
Little kid lover.
So ChatGPT just came out with a new like upgraded version.
GPT-4.
GPT-4.
Yeah.
And it's a little slower, but it has much better reasoning skills.
Is it free still?
I don't know, because I have been paying for it for like a month now, so I don't know what's free and what's not.
Cool flex, bro.
I don't want to ever lose this thing. It's awesome. It's just so great to have.
How much does it cost?
I think $20 a month.
Okay.
And anyway, so he gave ChatGPT, he said, hey, we're going to work together. In fact, your new name is Hustle GPT.
Oh,
Your name
I
is
heard
Hustle
about this
GPT,
Hustle GPT
and
thing.
together we have $100. Let's try to make as much money as possible.
Okay.
I will do everything you tell me to do.
Okay.
And he's just been documenting all of it. And it's just like fascinating, like the websites they've built and
Really?
they've secured funding. People have invested into the company now because they believe in GPT so much.
Really?
To like build this like company that's going to be worth something.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. There's all sorts of tools that AI can use. So I can't give any like specific advice on cleaning, but I could say utilize ChatGPT.
Did I tell you? I don't think I ever. Maybe I talked about it off the podcast with you, but like in Austin, like one of the things that we're supposed to do for this conference integrated is like bring our game changers, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And it can be anything. It can be like, my wife and I started talking, very intentionally for 10 minutes every night, and it's been a game changer. Or
Lumbar support.
Yeah, seriously, like literally anything. This app on my phone, this, whatever, this book that I read, anything. And I couldn't think of one that was like a great answer because I feel like I'm always imposter syndrome at those things. These millionaires and there's little Brad. And
But it's about the AI thing.
Did I tell you about this?
Yeah, I think you said this on the podcast.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Forget it. ChatGPT. I did say it?
Yeah, I'm
okay,
pretty sure. It feels familiar that I've heard it like sitting here.
Okay.
Sorry, you keep saying it. I wanted you to know. I think if I was telling a story, I would want to know that I've already said on the podcast.
Let's cut it out.
All right, cleaning business. Other things. If you're, I don't know what she said. I'm just getting started. If you think you need to have an Instagram, I would say you're not going to get that much business from Instagram. Correct, Brad?
I don't know, man. I don't know anything anymore. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I think getting started in anything is going to be really hard. But the best way for something like that, I view it as like a cleaning business. What's like the ideal amount of customers? 10, 20? Like you don't need a billion customers. Therefore, who cares if you have 5,000 followers on Instagram?
Doesn't matter.
You don't want 5,000 customers right away.
Yeah.
You want 20 really good ones. And so word of mouth and just really, really great quality with the first few jobs you do is huge, I think.
Take some good pictures, run some good Facebook ads, get in some Facebook groups. I don't know what exists out there in the cleaning industry, but you could find some.
Sure. And or just go to like find the richest person you know and be like, hey, can I clean your house? Hey, what other rich people you know? They got brooms like this. Have a broom in your hand when you're talking to them. Shake it around. Yeah, carry a broom with you, no matter what. Like have a broom like lanyard, like a small broom that's like if they see your keychain and you have a broom on there, they're like, wow, this girl, like cleaning is her life.
Live a life that cleaning gets brought up. Have a vanity license plate that says "clean for you."
I don't know if they make these, but if they don't, look into it as another business idea. But have a shirt that looks really, really, really dirty and come up to somebody and be like, hey, can I clean your house for you? And be like, you're not like you can't even clean your own face in your own shirt. What are you doing? And then you just go and you just whip it, and all of a sudden it looks clean. It's like a holographic shirt.
Yes.
One of those things back in the day that we went back and forth. It was like, whoa, what is that picture? Whoa, is it clean? Is it dirty? Just kind of jump up and down real quick, and then it is clean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think those are my answers.
All good advice.
Or ChatGPT.
Use them all.
AI is like super cool, guys.
I wrote down in a character segment one time to do for like, if we ever do the character thing again, where is it now? But basically, guy who thinks all this AI talk is about Allen Iverson. I forgot. I can't find it in my notes, but it's something like that.
That's pretty good. Okay, Emma wants to know how to be confident regardless of what people think and to be as cool and funny like you guys.
I have no idea how to like teach someone confidence.
If you think that we're confident no matter what people think, you are wrong, Emma, first of all.
Yeah,
we just
that's
have
true.
very, very kind people in our lives that say really, really nice things to us. I think if 1,000 people commented a week and said mean things to us, we would not be confident no matter what.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have jumped to 2 episodes if we were getting a lot of negative comments.
Like, okay, people don't like us that much.
Yeah.
Be cool and funny like you guys. How do we be cool and funny, Jake?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer this.
I will say, like, whenever I led that Bible study of boys who are now in college, like for like a year, I probably tried to be like them, and that's not cool. Like, don't try to be somebody that you're not. I think the coolest thing you can be is just who you are, and then they realize, like, wait, he's different than us, but he's like cool. He's like different in a fun way. Like he's like funny in his own way rather than like trying to have our lingo, because that's just never going to be cool.
Yeah.
So I think the coolest thing you can do is just lean into whatever you want to. Whoever you want to be. Like, I think these days, the only thing that's not cool is when you try to be somebody you're not. If you're like, listen, I'm really into, I don't know, reptiles. That's great. Like, I'm not super into it, but I'll love to hear you talk about it because that's cool to you. But if it's like, I actually like reptiles, but I'm going to pretend like I know Allen Iverson because everyone else is talking about Allen Iverson.
Reptiles and crypto.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 things.
March Madness, huh? That was crazy.
Huh?
Right? Me and my oxalotl watched it for a long time.
Yeah, it's crazy about Flaley Dickinson. Isn't that nuts?
Timon's like, I don't know what these guys are talking about. Accurate?
Yes. It's fun that you get to see Timon. I don't get to see Timon much.
Well, come on over here.
Switch up the room every now and then.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think that's great. The only advice I could think of is just kind of cringy, but it's true. It's just like to be yourself. So, and you said it. So
thanks for thinking my advice was cringy, though.
Well, I think just saying like the best thing you can do is be yourself. It feels like a little stereotypical.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. But no, I think it's true. Lean into your own strengths, your own passions.
This next question is coming from Philip Fitz-Gerald. Fitzgerald.
Fun.
And this one's probably just for you. What are some tips for learning music theory?
Is that really the question?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you've got Zaganova, or what? Dang it, what was the other one?
Vaganova,
Cicchetti,
French technique,
Cicchetti.
which you just play wee wee the whole time.
I'm going to try to honestly guess what music theory is because I don't know.
Okay.
Tips for learning music theory, and then we'll let Timon tell us what music theory is. The theory of music.
It's like scientific method.
So observation, hypothesis.
Yeah. So observing
and then
music.
FACED.
Very good.
I know that's something.
Is D after E in that?
It's just the alphabet, the first 8 letters. But now I'm blanking on the alphabet.
I remember I had seventh grade music class, and I feel like something was faced.
Okay.
FACED. I don't know
remember
what.
Face. I don't know if the D is at the bottom of it or not.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Music theory, is that just like how chords and notes work together? Is that like 4/4, 4/3?
That's the thing. I don't know what the theory is. The deeper aspect of music theory either. So that's why this question's for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would say Fibonacci sequence is probably where you want to start with that, right? Like the Fibonacci.
Don't underestimate the hypotenuse.
And then go into, I don't know, MLA format something, I think, within music theory.
Yeah, I think so.
Timon, do you have like a definition of music theory? In your head, what do you think of when you think of music theory?
I would define it just probably as just like why music sounds good or bad.
Okay.
Or I don't know.
Right. Like why this chord sounds nice. Like
with that other note.
And then why does this sound more dissonant? Is because these notes are too close to each other or something like that. Why does
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand what makes a chord, to be honest. Like, and I think the easiest way to see that is on a piano. We were actually just talking about this.
Yeah.
Because a piano you can literally see like
these
every
3
note.
notes.
Yeah. But I still don't really understand how it works or anything like that. I've never looked into it, so that's why I asked Jake.
I never understood like who's inside of the piano making the noise.
I don't know. It's not Wreck-It Ralph, is it?
Because I know it's not like electronic.
Well,
like a keyboard makes sense. Hey, okay,
that makes sense.
There's like a
Mr. Nord's in there or something.
There's a
NordVPN.
motherboard.
Yeah.
But a keyboard, because I know they can open up, but I never see a guy go in or out of it. But I know
Well, that's.
something has to happen.
Do you sleep every night?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's where Mr. Steinway goes.
Yeah, the Steinway is nocturnal.
I asked ChatGPT, what are some tips for learning music theory? He gave me 7 points. He/they/she. I don't know what
good for you.
ChatGPT is.
Progressive.
They gave me 7 points. I'm just going to read you the first one and the last one.
Okay.
You fill in the blanks. Point 1, start with the basics.
Okay.
It's essential to start with the fundamentals of music theory, such as notes, intervals, scales, and chords.
Faced.
Reptiles,
Yeah.
scales. A good understanding of these basics will make it easier to progress to more advanced topics. Point number 7, stay curious.
Be yourself.
Music theory is a vast subject. There's always more to learn.
Okay.
Well, that's encouraging. Hey, no matter how much you learn, there's always going to be more. So
It's like the ocean.
Stink it.
Yeah. It's the beauty of it.
Which that was really fun. Rachel and you going head to head in that little argument during Wits and Wagers. Rachel's take is that she doesn't buy. So segment, I don't buy it. I'll speak on behalf of Rachel Coop.
I'll try and remember what this is.
She has. So we've all heard that stat before that like 90. We know more about outer space than the ocean.
Oh yeah.
95% of the ocean is still like unexplored, and Rachel's just like, no way. No way do we know more about outer space than the ocean. There's no way. We know about all these like fish and all these species and all these like Mariana Trenches and all these habitats that exist in the ocean. And we know about like stars and planets, but we don't know about organisms. We don't know about like life.
She mentioned that like planets have tons of oceans on them.
Yeah.
And so therefore we don't know squat about oceans compared to planets.
And outer space is infinite. It is ever expanding, where the ocean is very finite. We're not even that big of a planet compared to outer space. Like, how can you not know more about what's here than what's out there?
Yeah, she was fired up about it. I liked seeing it.
I know.
And I was like, okay, but you know that there's oceans on those other planets, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, then maybe you know more about those planets than we do about the oceans. And she kind of froze, but I was like, you're right. That's my 1 point against it. So she doesn't buy it. She doesn't buy the old oceans versus planets debate.
And better is better than best.
Yes. Okay. Will wants to know, he says, hey, Jake and Brad, I've been really busy for the past few months in high school, but no matter what, I've always made time to go to my youth group with my closest friends on Friday nights. I've been going to my youth group for 2 years now, and I've recently been offered a job at a local restaurant.
Heyo.
McDonald's. It would be low-level work, cleaning bathrooms and washing dishes, but I need steady income for personal reasons. I'd love to accept, but but I would have to work on Friday nights when I'd be hanging out with my best friends. I'm still thinking it over and would love to hear your thoughts on what I should do. Thanks, love the pod, and miss you, Scott.
Oh,
Will.
Scott.
Nothing for you, Timon.
Wow, the high school student with no love for Timon.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit of a rivalry.
Thought we had a cool youth vibe going on here with Timon, but
This is a tough question.
yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
You kind of put us in a corner here, Will, with saying you need it for personal reasons. We don't know what that means, and what your other options are. If you need money to do something that we don't know about, it's hard for us to be like, dude, don't worry about money.
It comes down to how badly do you need the money? Because my first thought was like, dude, you got your whole life to work. That's
always a great principle to be like, you can worry about it later, like money wise. You can't get back these years that you have your more or less your innocence, your freedom, like different things like that I think don't have, like, even if you work for yourself out of high school, you have so much more to worry about than you do when you're living under your parents' roofs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, I worked in high school, but I didn't work so much that I didn't have a life outside of it, I think. So
I would say, Will, is this an option? You don't work right now and you work hard this summer.
Yeah, that's good. I think
preserve your Friday nights.
I think sleep is something that as a kid you can bounce back way easier than an adult. Like, can you work really early on Saturday mornings?
Or late on Saturday night. Start like a webcam thing.
Okay. So, and doing what exactly? Like probably playing video games.
Education. Yeah, education. Twitch stream.
Oh, they have that education thing where you teach Chinese kids English.
Yes, actually. Yeah,
ABC Kids, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's for 16 and 17-year-olds, like specifically to teach little kids English. And you work at like 3 a.m. or something.
There you go.
I think
teach someone overseas something.
To me, it seems like, Will, you're going to have to sacrifice something. I'd rather sacrifice sleeping in. And I know it's crazy as a high school kid because I would not have said that back then. But now I'm like, dude, spend the time with your friends, but make up for it and suck it up some other way. It sounds like you're going to have to suck it up no matter what. But don't suck it up to the point where you're missing out on time with your friends.
Yeah, I like that. Saturday morning. Spring's coming up. Start mowing some lawns.
I love honestly, like this sounds sarcastic. I love waking up to the sound of a lawnmower in spring.
Do you?
I'll
have to get one going outside the house sometime.
Oh yeah. It's like, or even just like you're cleaning inside, your dad's mowing the lawn outside. It's just a fun, I don't know. Spring's just fun. You got the windows open.
Yeah.
It's just nice. You got baseball on TV.
Oh yeah.
Because the Jayhawks lost. So anyway, I don't know, man. I would say I'm a big fan of like, suck it up for a little bit, but like, it doesn't sound like I truly think like most of my life, I've never had to suck it up for weeks, months, years at a time, but I can suck it up for a day and just be like, I'm going to be tired on Saturday night. And that's okay. Cause Friday night I had a great time. Saturday morning I had to work, something like that. So
it's good. Good thoughts, Brad.
Thanks, man. Okay. Let's see here. Mandy wants to know how to get her adult 22-year-old son to clean up after himself and his friends. Jake kind of has some 22-year-old sons in his life right now.
Yeah, I kind of do.
How do you get those guys to throw out the trash when it's hitting the light? Like, it's like, hey, if it hits the light switch, it's time to take out the trash.
I don't know, Mandy. How to get my adult 22-year-old son to clean up after him?
I would show him the utility bill and the mortgage bill and everything else that you're paying for him, Mandy, and then say, do you mind just doing one thing for me and just cleaning up? That's all you got to do. I pay, $4,000 every month to you and to help your well-being. Do you mind just taking 45 minutes to clean? Or who's in charge? Mandy. That's what you say. Hey, what's Mandy's son's name?
Caleb with a K.
Hey, Caleb with a K. Who's in charge? Who's not in charge? When I ask you to clean up, what are you going to do? You're going to clean up.
Easy. And if he's in the other room beforehand?
And then say, and by the way, take a nap. But not on Saturday mornings when you should be working, Caleb with a K.
Yeah, make sure you stop too. My suggestion is to outdo him. Try to make your parts of the house dirtier than his. Show him what it looks like to not take care of yourself.
That's like very like 90s sitcom of you.
It's like a really bad solution to a problem. Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, I'm relaxed like you. Like, Dad, I can't live like this. And then at the end, it's like, do you see how it feels?
In the end, we need to take care of each other. The trash was just a metaphor.
I'll clean up, Dad. I'm sorry. And then they hug as they clap it out with the credits going.
Yeah.
Yeah. it
So
sounds
just
nice.
do that. Have credits ready to roll.
Really, like if you can't think of what to do, what would Carl Winslow, Danny Tanner, any of these amazing 90s sitcom dads? What would
Even
they do?
kind of like a That's So Raven. I feel like they were big on
Okay.
that. Oh, there's a problem in the first act. What's the dumbest solution I can think of to combat this?
And it works.
Yep. And you get a whole
That's
TV
how
show. Get to see the past.
Kanan, Canaan, Kanan,
Okay.
Kanan, wants to know when the right time to ask a girl/women, probably woman, hopefully, says when is the right time to ask a girl/women out?
Okay. The fact that his name is Kanan tells me he's homeschooled.
All caps too.
Oh. Okay. Tells me he has a problem,
Tells me he's
like a voice modulation issue.
honestly, I think it's like his rapper name, his SoundCloud name.
When is the right time to ask a girl/women out?
Women.
Women with an E. Okay. I'd say right now is fine.
I'd look up at no. You gotta play the tide game a little bit, like what
The tide,
yeah, like
the moon.
no, you're close. Yeah, lunar. Yeah, look at the moon. If it's a waxing gibbous, I would stay away.
Yeah.
Just trust me, brother.
Good luck.
I mean, I can't count the times where I've tried to do that. But if it's waning, it's time to get at waxing.
I couldn't think of anything.
If it's waning, it's time to get wandering. You wander on over there.
If it's waning, don't be insaning.
Yeah, don't be
Ask her
insane.
out.
Yeah. if it's waning, you would be insaning not to ask her out. So I think if I asked Catherine this question, she would say, anytime, ask the girl out.
That's what I say.
Stop overthinking it. I think if I were to ask Jake that, he would say the same thing.
Yeah. Well, also we have no details to go off of. So, I mean, how helpful can we really be? I don't know how old you are. I don't know the situation. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. What if you were a dad right now? You're not, right?
I'd be in charge.
Yes, you would be. How old would you want your daughter to be before she starts dating?
I think about this from time to time. Like, what's my stance going to be on like high school dating?
I'm terrified of it.
I think it's very tough to say. I don't have kids. I don't have a daughter. But I think I'm on board with like, hey, you're not like, as long as you do it in a healthy way, I think it's a good way for you to learn what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
Via high school dating.
It's a big precursor or big, what's the word? As long as, what's that phrase? Like as long as you do it the right way. That's a big if, I guess.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's the only scary part for me. As a man, I'm like, guys out there are scary. And they're just getting scarier, brother.
Well, you got to find a nice,
A nice bow.
yes, a nice young beau.
Timon, you got any? Do you guys have any rules on dating ages?
Not really.
Oh, it's a Wild West over there.
Oh, yeah.
Bucyrus.
I tell you what, down in Bucyrus.
Have at it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
All right, let's say this person asking, I'm going to put you on the spot, Timon, is a 16-year-old guy,
Okay.
just like you, and
a strapping young man.
strapping, and he wants to ask this girl out. They go to church together. They go to co-op together. You know, he sees her a couple times a week.
He'll go up.
How should he ask her out? And when should he ask her out?
Oh man.
Should he do it in a creative way, or should he just like look her in the eyes and ask her?
Really put me on the spot here. Just trick her into
I like this.
Yes.
asking.
Yeah,
trick her, trick her.
Just trick
Trick her into asking you out accidentally.
Okay.
Figure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
sure.
really have no idea where I'm going with this.
No, that's a good start.
That's good. Yeah.
That was the answer. Trick her and asking you out.
trick her, and honestly, I have no idea where
You're
I'm
like,
going.
oh, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking too.
100%. Like as you're, as long as you know the main thing, the main objective is to trick her. It doesn't matter where you're going with this. Like you'll figure it out along the way,
Yeah.
and she will too. Like that's the thing. You can trick her and then figure it out.
First idea I have is Mad Gab style. You
Okay.
say, hey, can you solve this Mad Gab for me?
Okay.
And it's like, will you go out with me? Will you go out with me? Oh my God, are you asking me out?
Do you want to date? Do you want to date? Do you want
Do you
to date?
want to?
See,
want
you're
to
tricking her into asking you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh,
Go
me,
on,
who
go
me?
on, go to movie with me. Go to movie with me. Go to movie.
I like Q as more than friend. I like Q as more than friend. I like you as more than a friend. Oh wow.
I think I think you have beautiful hair. I think you have beautiful hair.
And then after that, she says, "Oh my gosh," and you say, "Who's in charge?"
Who's in charge?
I am. I tricked you. And I didn't even know where I was going with it.
Who's in charge, baby?
Who's in charge?
Women love that.
All right.
It works on Catherine too. Trust me.
And then she will say, Ephesians 5, I submit to you. That's exactly how the conversation will go.
That's another thing. Maybe I've talked about it on the podcast already. Sorry, but I submit to you. I've been saying that all the time lately.
Yeah, I do like it. You even
Back
said
and forth.
a YouTube comment this morning. I saw.
I did. I was like, I
sorry,
submit to you.
I was wrong.
I was wrong. I submit.
I submit to you.
It just feels great to say. It feels great to be heard from somebody else. And then it feels really great to say, submit to me.
Submit to me.
Yeah.
I submit to you.
Yeah, I submit to you. Okay. Let's see.
Good Mad Gabs.
Those were great. Hate Mad Gabs. It just feels like you're like struggling for, like you're like kind of like about to drown. That's how I feel like I'm talking.
It sounds like, remember those like that ear jammer app? You would put in headphones and it would give you your own voice back to you, but it's slightly delayed. It made it so hard to talk
You
out
just
loud.
like couldn't.
It would jam your own voice. Yeah, it was wild.
That's great. Okay, let's see. A few different ones. Megan and Ashley Tinter asked similar questions here about parenting, specifically having 2 under 3 and how to make good time for you and your spouse. Right now, all the time we have is from 8 to when they go to bed, or 8 when they go to bed until about 10 when we pass out. And in between, we have to do chores. And here comes the emoji. You ready for this emoji that you can hear in your head?
Yeah. Blowing air out the nose.
Right now, we have to do chores.
Like an angry bull.
Angry. Yeah, it does look like a bull. I think, I don't know if I'm a great person to ask this question to, because I think the only thing that kind of saves us with this is that I get to see Catherine and talk to her a lot more than probably most people do during the day. So maybe the big answer is have your own job and have some flexibility there.
And you guys are anti-chore.
We've always been anti-chore. We've always said that.
They'll figure.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to go to bed at a good time, get up early. She doesn't go to bed quite as early. She doesn't wake up quite as early. So I don't really see her in the morning. But yeah, I guess one thing she does say, we're in between, we have to do chores. Try to do the chores during the day with the kids. Like, it's one of those things. Yeah, I'm sure it's so much more of a great theory than it does that actually, execution wise. But I've been trying so hard and so long. Catherine does it even more than I do, of like trying to teach our kids how to clean up well, because eventually it's going to pay divvies.
Yeah.
Those dividends are coming.
Yeah.
And it's already kind of starting with Hattie. Like, she's finally understanding that if she cleans up every day, then she doesn't have to do like a massive cleanup, because she plays in the basement every day for her quiet time. And I'm like, did you just clean up as you went? And she's getting there, and it's nice. So things like that. I don't know, just some kind of systems in place where you have your kids hopefully help you, or at least you're trying to clean up throughout the day, but that's so much easier said than done. Or just make everything fun. I think Jefferson Bethke, he uses the term gamify. Just gamify things. Like
Kanakuk was so good at that.
Yeah.
During staff training, everything is a competition. Yeah, we have to rake all these leaves and shovel all this pea gravel, but it's a competition.
Like even something simple, like we've just recently been starting to listen to the song Family by Drew Holcomb. Family.
Oh yeah.
Someone in the kitchen. And like, that just makes cleaning and doing chores together so much more fun. And guess where we're listening to it from? The old Ecobee speaker.
I thought this was going to be a Spotify anti-Apple Music thing.
Oh, no.
Ecobee thermostat. That's fun to have a cleaning song. I've got a car wash song right now.
Oh.
But I'd like to have more songs in place.
What's the car wash song?
It's called Dry Bones.
Dry Bones by Lauren Daigle?
I have no idea. Oh, no, not that one.
Okay.
Is that one called Dry Bones? I know she's big on bones.
Timon. Dry bones come alive.
I don't even think I've heard that.
Well, Timon, you'll get there.
Sucks for
you're
Timon.
not to the Lauren Daigle stage of your Christianity yet. You'll get there. You drinking coffee yet? No, I think. And then Ashley Tinter wanted to know advice on going from 2 to 3 kids. I don't know if you heard this, but it's like going from man to zone. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase.
That's hilarious.
Like first time. Like it's like, dude, I'm going from man to zone. All right. Catherine always said that going from 1 to 2 is harder than 2 to 3. So Ashley, just keep doing what you're doing. That'll advise you, right?
Keep being in charge.
Okay.
It all comes back to who's in charge.
Should we talk about coffee real quick while we're on the subject of
Oh my gosh.
coffee?
We should.
Yeah.
We should.
I think are you a coffee drinker yet?
I'm more of a coffee drinker. Like,
Oh, okay.
It's like fake coffee. You know,
Sure.
it's a lot more sugar
I'd say when we
than it
met,
should be.
I think you had a nice sugary latte.
I think
at
I did,
Pilgrim.
yeah.
I was jealous.
I wonder if you can put like creamer and like flavored like sugary stuff into Main Street Roasters coffee.
You don't think you could just
Like that wouldn't
buy their beans, buy their grounds, and then put in your own sugar, your own
flavor.
sucralose,
Yeah.
if you have that on hand,
Sure.
your own aspartame, if
Yeah.
that's what you're into.
Stevia guy? You
Stevia.
You a stevia star? And where would you buy the beans, Jacob?
I would go to mainstreetroasters.com.
.com.
Good
for them.
At the beginning, you could throw in https:// but you don't need to.
Nope.
And I would use code GRKC, get 10% off.
Well, who are Main Street Roasters though? For the people that haven't been listening the last 7 weeks.
So first of all, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Glad to have you listening finally. But yeah, they're one of our favorite sponsors. They've been with us for like 2 months now, and no signs of stopping anytime soon. They roast their own beans, which has Brad and I just constantly just buzzing for beans.
Buzzing.
And if Brad can't find them, tell him what you do.
I go. We're going on a bean hunt.
No.
Going on a bean hunt.
not-
We're gonna get some.
We're not going on a bean hunt.
Get some from Napanee. Get some from Napanee.
I was thinking-
Indiana. Indiana. Can't go through it. Can't go under it. So we just roast them beans.
That's great. The
Beans.
bean hunt.
Beans.
Yeah.
What was it?
Here come the beans.
Beans, beans, here come the beans, 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 here come the beans, beans, beans. Who's in charge? Main Street Roasters. Who's not in charge? Everybody doesn't go to mainstreetroasters.com. When I ask you to do something, what are you going to do?
Now go to sleep.
I'm gonna do
Oh,
it.
you can't because you're buzzing for
Because I'm
beans.
buzzing for beans! The beans, beans, beans! Give me those beans, beans, beans!
That was great. I was expecting Here Come the Beans, and we're going on a bean hunt.
I would love to go on a bean hunt someday with some ghosties.
Okay, Rachel, she keeps telling me, she's like, we got to do this sometime. I forget what time of year they do it, but they go mushroom hunting. You ever heard of that? Mm-mm. I don't know what happens. I don't think they're like psychedelic mushrooms. I don't know what they do with the mushrooms, but
Okay.
I've heard it's very fun.
Mushroom hunting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like it's gonna be like snipe hunting or something. Like they're messing with me, but
Okay.
I know mushrooms exist.
Goals for 2023. Number 1, bean hunt. Number 2, pheasant hunt. Number 3, shroom hunt. All right.
Number 4, be in charge.
Number 4, always in charge.
Number 5, buzz for more beans.
Buzz for more beans. from
MainStreetRoasters.com.
Promo code.
Promo code GRKC, 2% off.
Whoa. Every order though? Probably not.
Well, that's
Up to them. I will say, yeah. Was talking to a friend just this week that ordered some for his business, and he's like, "Dude, it's awesome. It's so good." So holler.
there's that.
So there's that. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to MainStreetRoasters.com. Buzzing for them beans.
Shout out.
Okay, Arissa.
Your name's wrong.
Arissa, how do you guys deal with jobs/careers you weren't passionate about before your current circumstances? Any encouragement or advice on building a career in a creative space? You guys are awesome. Thanks for the podcast. Kind of similar idea to the other one, but how did we deal with those jobs? Have you had a job that you're like less than enthused about?
Yeah, I've been pretty blessed in that area.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. How do you deal with jobs, careers you weren't passionate about before your current circumstances?
I'll say this much for some. I did work at Cerner, the name of the company. It's a big Kansas City company, and I did not enjoy it. And
So did my dad.
no way.
Oh,
Wait, is his name Timon?
Time in the
I'm
first.
in senior.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Did he like? Did you said so? He doesn't
Yeah,
anymore.
he did. He has his own business now.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
So
Cerner's great if you want to quit eventually and start your business.
good for him. I'll be honest. Like it was not the best time of my life. I was not my best self. I know that sounds so cliche or whatever, but like I was a shell of myself for a good year, probably like because people weren't like outgoing to me, and I wasn't confident enough to like be outgoing to them, and so like people didn't know my personality really or
Yeah.
like anything like that, and so I guess maybe that's the first thing is like try to make it like eventually I did make it my own, and like I like kind of like formed this little team within our team that like did specific projects and stuff, and I like I call it the Wolf Pack, you know, classic name. You know, we had like a little sign that said the Wolf Pack and like got like professionally printed like this banner for us. And anyway, it got fun, but it took me a long time to get there. So I think the first thing is just like to have some confidence to put yourself out there a little bit and be a little more creative, because so much of corporate America is so like dry and like I just remember when I, you know, sat in with Scott that one day and he was listening to those Zoom calls. It's like, dude, like, it doesn't have to be this dry. Like you can make it a little bit more exciting without being unprofessional. Like you can be a friendly person or like a, you know, whatever. Scott would be like, anybody watching any basketball? And it just like silence. Like no one would even want to talk about anything. It's like, come on, like Scott's trying here. So I don't know how to deal with that very well. I think having a good life outside of work and or trying to find some sort of deeper mission within the work you're doing, because I think it's cliche, but God is always putting you in the right place for where you need to be at that moment. So, not like being sad about that, but just rather like experiencing that in a different way. So,
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's always opportunities to make the most of something, even though it might be a bummer of a culture, a bummer of a boss or whatever it is, but like really push yourself to try and find ways like, all right, I'm going to send a funny email every morning or something until it catches on, or like, hey, we're going to play, Zoom call bingo. I'm going to make bingo cards for us because our boss always says these same phrases.
Right.
Like, is there any type of game we could play or anything to spice this up? And
it's like as long as you don't push that too far, which I feel like you're not going to, it's really fun, and like people won't get upset about it. Like people won't get upset about getting one email a day, you know, or something like silly like that. Like, and chances are other people are feeling similar to how you feel. And so rather than like complaining about your boss not caring about you that much, just like be fun and I don't know, do something original. So
it'd be fun to send out like maybe like not every morning, but like every Monday, like an email to like your team, and it could be anything you want. Like you could like, you know what, I'm going to send them the weather. Every Monday, they're going to get a weather report in their inbox. Or like every Monday, it's just going to be, hey, current events. Hey, here's what happened this weekend.
Love it.
That'd be kind of fun. Like morning brew, but just for like 8 of you.
Just having, and you could just develop so many funny inside jokes and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but also, I don't know your circumstances. If you're not tied to too much, get out of there. That's what I've done in my life. Just whenever I wanted something else. I was always single and not attached to anything. So it was very, very easy for me.
I remember having conversations with a guy who had just one kid, I think, at the time. But like I was talking about potentially leaving Cerner to go start my own business and stuff. And he's like, do it while you can, because it just becomes harder and harder when you have more and more responsibility outside of work within your family and providing for them. So it's like, analyze what you can. And they also asked like advice for how to build a career in a creative space. I think doing it slowly, like I think proving the concept before you just go out on your own is often my goal or my mindset for it, rather than just being like, I don't know, I'm just going to see if it works. And if it doesn't, then we're not going to have any money. It's like, no, I'd rather go slow and like, find it along the way, rather than like just completely 180, go the other way with it.
Yeah.
So and that's probably I don't know if I would have felt that way as a single person, but I definitely feel that way as a husband and now a dad. So
playing zone defense.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Andrew Schutte says, I'm addicted to LaCroix. Convince me one way or another to stop or just keep going. Thanks.
Man, how could you be addicted to something so terrible? That's amazing.
I have really turned the corner. Talk about turning to 180. I used to think LaCroix, I think I talked about it on the podcast. Like no one truly likes LaCroix. I like it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Certain flavors more than others. But once you stop drinking as much sugary stuff, LaCroix automatically tastes so good. But
that makes sense, I guess. But you're still just like addicted to it. At that point, just drink water. Just drink a ton of water.
But it's the carb. It's the carbonation.
The fizzle in your throat.
Yes, dude. Like there's been times where I've drank 5 or 6 in a day. Just gone to town. And then Catherine gets upset with me, not because like it's bad for me to, I mean, maybe it is a lot of carbonation. I don't know. But like, I think she's just like, Brad, those cost money. Why not just drink water? And I'm like, they're just so quaint.
It doesn't fizz like this.
No. Yeah. Coming in from a hot summer's day. So I think, Andrew, just go for it. Jake sounds like he's saying, just go for water.
I'm saying there's so many other drinks out there too. It could be water. It could be all these other ones. Like, look at what we're drinking right now.
Main Street Roasters.
Clear American, Recess. There's, what else out there is a nice little like Spindrift.
Oh, there's 100 of them now.
Yeah, there's 1,000.
But
Izzy.
Waterloo,
Oh, yeah.
Main Street Roasters. Always good. Yeah, just stop being addicted to LaCroix and be addicted to coffee for the sake of the podcast.
Problem solved.
Let's see. Okay, this is a fun one from Lisa Gluck. I want to apply to be a contestant on Wheel of Fortune. I have to submit a video under a minute. Any suggestions are greatly appreciated. You've done something like this for people before, right? Like for The Bachelor?
Yeah, I've made a couple Bachelor audition videos.
Any of them get plucked?
No plucking yet.
Mm-hmm.
So my style with stuff like this is trying to think through what are every other applicant's video is going to look like, and then try to differentiate yourself from that. So I would think most people are going to send in a video like, and here is 4 reasons why you should pick me to be on Wheel of Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
If it were me, I would do a video on why you should not pick me. Like a
Okay.
really sarcastic video
Yeah.
on why to not pick me to go on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Like what would be some of the things like just not being able to say words, like not knowing. I know the Chinese alphabet, but not the American one. You know, like a Wheel of Fortune. Like you gotta know the letters. Vowels. I've never bought one in my entire life.
Yeah, I think there's probably a few different ways you could go about it. I think like one of the first ideas that came to mind is like, this is even like almost a separate idea now, but almost like recreating like the Goodwill Hunting scene with the chalkboard, but having it those letters that you could put on your fridge.
Okay.
And like redoing the scene where like everyone's like, who put this together?
That's that's fun. Yeah.
There were all that's just its own video now. I just
Yeah.
thought of that, but like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to put this up in the fridge if anyone could solve it, you know. And then days go by, it's like no one could solve it, and then like, who solved it? It's Lisa Gluck, the janitor. How did she know? That would be
you're
fun.
just mopping up the floor, and then all of a sudden, put it up there.
It's before and after.
That's fun.
So there's some ideas.
Please, Lisa, let us know what you do, and we'll post it on Patreon, Instagram, whatever. Megan wants to know she has 5 nieces and nephews, all under 8 years old, but she doesn't have enough money to buy them all gifts for birthdays and Christmas unless they're like $5 or $10 each. I still want to get them something or do something with them. Any ideas? I think that's a really fun question. To me, the answer is like do some crazy fun experience.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more like you really want to get them something memorable and awesome, but you don't have the money. Like I would love like if my uncle, when I was an 8-year-old, set up like this really cool game for us all to play together. And it's like, it could be in the backyard. It could be a scavenger hunt where we're doing something and it's like, one clue leads to another, or you're playing laser tag, or like home laser tag was like the most fun thing back in the day.
That's pretty cool.
I bet you could rent out for $100 a bunch of laser tag things.
That's cool.
Or whatever. I don't know. I guess that's more than she's saying. But anyway, did you ever play that, Timon? You ever played?
I never got down on that.
Oh yeah. It was great. They didn't work nearly as well as like the ones at the like Laser Storm or whatever, but it was still so fun because you're like going around the corners and like
Laser
we could
tag's
turn
fun.
off all the lights in the house and like all these
Yeah.
fun things. Yeah. I think Scott had them. So
That's a good idea. I don't think I have anything else to add. That's a
just
great idea.
anything experiential.
Do an experience. And if you want to, you could throw in there is a prize for the winner of the experience.
Yes.
That could go poorly because then only one niece and nephew gets the prize, but also could still be fun.
Or just have like an awesome, like you don't have to take them out to ice cream. Have a ice cream sundae bar right there at home. And you play laser tag and have ice cream sundae. And that's awesome. And that's a memory.
Merry Christmas. Santa's not in charge. I am.
Okay.
It all comes back to who's in charge.
Who's in charge? Timon's in charge. Let's see. What's your advice on, okay. This will be our last one.
Great.
What's your advice on growing strong relationships and communities? Not necessarily new relationships, but really cultivating the ones already there. Parents, family, close friends, etc. Y'all seem to have a very healthy friend group and strong relationships with parents, and I know that takes a lot of energy and attention at times. If you could share some thoughts, advice, lessons learned. Y'all are the best. Thank you.
Lessons learned.
If you could. All right.
Really good
This
question.
is from Joni. Yeah, it's another one I think it's just like, I don't know. Okay, so I think it seems like we might have like tons and tons of friends, but I think in reality we don't have as many super, super close friends as it may seem. You would agree with that?
I think it's like an oxymoron to have a ton of close friends.
It's just impossible. Like, yeah.
Like you either have a ton of friends or you have like a few that are really close to you.
Right.
Like you can't be close with 50 people.
And I think as guys, this is from Joni with an I. If it was Joni with a Y, maybe it's a boy's name, but I think Joni with an I is definitely a girl's name.
Joe and I.
for guys, it's so easy to like pick up friendships, snap of a finger. Like Kanakuk friends, I could not see them for 2 years and then we could hang out for a week and it'd be like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I think for girls, I've just learned that it's just, at least Catherine, I don't know about every single girl, but I think probably every single girl, it's just easier for them to have a few close friends. And it's just not as realistic for them to like, carry on all these friendships well. And so I think that's part of it is like, maybe it seems like we have tons and tons of friends. And as Jake and I, as guys, like it's easier for us to like hang out with, like people randomly, sporadically and be close friends with them. But I don't think that's necessarily a realistic thing to think you can have this deep, deep community that's also a very wide community. So
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. This is another one of those things like,
it's all subjective.
I don't know how to like really, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do a good job of like telling someone how to foster a good community. I think it could sometimes just happen naturally, but I'm trying to think about what we do as a friend group well, and I think we make time for each other. That's
what I was going to say. Discipline is something as you get older, as you have more things in your life, like having some kind of structure almost, like as weird as that sounds, like of like, and maybe you haven't gotten to this point yet, but like every Tuesday we're hanging out, like every whatever we're doing that. Like honestly, sports are so great for our friendship. Like, and for our friend group, because like, hey, let's all watch the Chiefs together. Like, that's something that we can like be disciplined to try to do more and more of.
Even playing sports, playing golf, playing basketball,
right.
playing pickleball.
Yeah,
it is easier for guys.
And if all else fails, start a podcast with your friend and
see him pretty often.
See if it goes well, and if it does, then you're going to have to do it all the time and hang out. So,
yeah, I would say just be intentional and spend time with whoever it is, parents, friends, family. Go out of your way to see them.
And if you don't spend time with them for a month or something, don't be afraid to like jump back in. I think that's another thing. Like as you get older, sometimes it's like, well, I guess maybe we haven't seen them in a while, so maybe it's going to be awkward if we see them now. It's like, no, just do it. It'll be fine.
Send the text.
So we had lots of other questions. We can do this another time. Let us know what you guys think of this, but I think this one's gone decently long, and so I think we'll kind of wrap it up there.
This ends the therapy session.
Yes, from doctors Jake and Brad, MD.
Jacob the boy.
Jacob.
So, Brad, what is your comment of the week?
My comment of the week, I think comment is kind of a loose term for this one, but it's coming from our Facebook group. It's a post. No.
Oh, okay. Mine's Facebook comment.
Okay. It's Lindsay Dickerson.
Okay.
She posted a picture of this birthday cake, and it says, "On your feet, happy birthday, Ghosty." Lindsay Dickerson said, "Today was my 36th birthday, and when we went to get a cake, I knew exactly what I wanted written on it. I laughed so hard and had to explain it to several people, but hey, maybe I helped grow the Ghosty following." So happy birthday to Lindsay, 36. We're on birthday cakes, baby. We're doing.
Yeah, I saw that cake. That was pretty fun.
That's so fun, and it's so like, I mean. What an honor to be like, yeah, let's do a podcast. And so I wanted to put that on my cake. Like, it's just awesome, man. Like, it's just so sweet and so fun. And I just want to shout out Lindsay and hope you had a great birthday.
It really is awesome. I would never think to put a podcast I listen to or a YouTube channel I follow like on my own birthday cake.
It's really sweet. So, yeah.
I just go get a birthday cake and just put yes theory on it. You're like, what are you talking about?
That's
awesome. That's really cool. Okay, this is from a comment in the Facebook group from Jennifer.
Oh, I know exactly.
You know which one?
Yeah, it's so sweet. Yeah.
So I think this was the post. It was like,
how'd you get into?
Yeah,
how long have you been listening?
Everyone, like, when did you start listening?
Yeah, shout out to Alexis for that.
Really cool post. It was fun to read all the comments. Jennifer said, July 2019. I had just lost my younger sister to suicide the month before and was praying to find some wholesome and encouraging audio content into which to escape for a bit. I stumbled upon Ghostrunners and binged the 10 total episodes that were available at that time and was hooked. Ghostrunners not only offered a respite from all that I was dealing with, but it brought joy and in time helped me to find my laugh again. In addition to that gift through the pod, God has blessed me with these two guys who feel like a couple of my best friends and an incredible community of ghosties, all of whom have become incredibly wonderfully woven into the fabric of my daily life. It's not an exaggeration for me to say this podcast's impact has been monumental and life-changing. I know it was a God thing and that I discovered it when I did, and I'm so grateful for Jake and Brad's willingness to allow God to use them and their talents for his glory. The true kingdom impact of their efforts cannot be calculated with analytics, measured by listenership or viewership numbers, or determined using algorithms, but I'm confident it's substantial and much greater than anyone other than the Lord realizes. As a dedicated supportive ghostie, I'm so excited to be along for the journey of whatever God's will holds ahead for Jake and Rachel and Brad and Catherine and family. Let's remember to pray for them sincerely and often. Ghostie fam. Jennifer,
Amazing.
thank you for saying that.
So cool.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. What do you say? What do you say in response to that? Praise God.
God's in charge.
Who's in charge? God's in charge. I mean, that's so powerful and so amazing. And yeah, of course, that is completely from the Lord because we were not trying to do anything.
It's not the
like
intention
that,
to help people.
It just makes me so happy to see and hear that we can, be a vessel, if you will. So that's so cool. So cool, Jennifer. Shout out.
Fun
Fun times. Okay. We'll see. We'll be recording here in a couple more days. We got
Yeah.
exciting times
Fun.
ahead here. Thank you guys for listening as always. What episode is this?
211, I think.
Yeah, 211.
Episode 211. Check out Main Street Roasters. We'll see you guys on Monday. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend.
Buzz for those beans, baby. Love you guys.
Those beans. See you guys.
Who's in charge?
Ghostrunners podcast. Every Monday